Hello, Coaching the Brave community. What you're going to be hearing today is a recording that I made back in January of 2020. I'm releasing this now because I didn't have a platform back then to do it. So you're going to be hearing me as a brand new coach, pretty much like a baby coach, and giving advice, like just explaining how it is that we make decisions and how our egos make most of them, and how we feel sometimes remorseful and we feel like, oh my God, did I make the right choice? So we have this battle within us that sometimes we might not agree with ourselves with. And then sometimes we're just like angry, down on ourselves for doing it or making those decisions. So I'm giving you hope in this podcast today. And I'm explaining a little bit about how uh, an example of what happened back then with my experience. Now, later on, after you hear what I have to say, you'll also hear me coming back in the present and explaining a little bit more about how I came back to that experience and modality in my business. And I hope you really enjoy it, because sometimes we do make these decisions that we don't exactly feel the best about, but then there's a silver lining within that decision and within that remorse. So I hope you find that. And if you don't, I'll explain it a little bit more at the end. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. It's Giovanna Chase. Today, I want to talk about mistakes. I know that a lot of us, we make decisions and then we feel bad about the fact that we changed it. We changed our minds, or it just didn't work out. But why does that stick to our memory and ourselves for so long? Just think about that for a second. For example, you decide to do something. You decide to make a business, right? And it doesn't have to be this huge thing. It can just be, I decided to, I don't know, have a freelancing business or start blogging or something. And a couple months go by and everybody's like, she's not going to make it happen, or he's not going to make it happen. It's not going to pan out. This isn't going to be like, it's a pipe dream. Keep thinking. Think about what decisions have you made in the past that you have decided to just quit, or just, it just didn't pan out, right? It didn't go as planned. Okay, is that still lingering within you? Yes, no, maybe write down in the comments what your experience was with something that you decided to do. Okay, so why though? Why is that still lingering there? So, I want to go deep in that. And I do serve military spouses, mommies, and veteran women. However, if this resonates with you, then it resonates with you. And I'm super, super happy that we're here connecting together, and that this could possibly help you to move past that feeling of regret, remorse, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're actually going to move past that, and maybe not move past it to where it's completely behind you, but at least it's a step forward. We're moving the needle to get closer to the feeling of freedom for you. So the way that I want to explain this a little bit more is, let's say that when you started something, and I have my notes here, that's why I'm looking down. If your heart and soul was into this, whatever you wanted to do, like for me, it was Zumba. This is my experience, and I'm sharing it with you and the world because, yes, I was feeling bad about it, and yes, I kind of thought, maybe I might gain weight again, or, something. I was just in my head about it, but I coached myself out of it. I said, you know what? It literally didn't work out in our area and for myself. And I still have a passion for dance, and that's all that matters. So here's how we move past that. For example, in my experience, when I started Zumba, for example, and this could be, you put it in your circumstance. When I started Zumba, it was 10 years after I had already wanted to try to teach Zumba. And I already knew I didn't really want to be a teacher, but I knew that if I wanted to get in front of people and share this amazing passion that I have for dance, I had to get certified and do all of what it takes to get there, right? So it took 10 years in order for me to get this courage to actually pay for the course, take the course, and then implement it into a gym or a community center or something, and then actually go on and do it, right? So 10 years comes by last year, June 2019, and I did it. I got certified. I spread the word. I launched that I was getting my certification, and I was super excited. Everyone was super happy for me. Yay, Yovi's finally doing Zumba, right? Okay, so the time came for me to actually get out there and teach people. And I did. I did it with such a passion and such a love for dance, and exactly what I had that in my feelings for 10 years ago, I actually completed that, and then I was able to implement it in person. So no matter the sacrifice, no matter how much it takes to get to your dream, you did it, right? It doesn't matter the opinions of others. It doesn't matter the regret or negative talk of other people. You tried. And that's what I want to implement today, is that yes, in the past there might be some type of remorse or regret, but you tried. So that is one thing. Two things, actually. You were able to do whatever it was that you wanted to do. And then you tried. You put your heart and soul into it, and you tried, which is the best that you could do for yourself, is actually get out there for yourself, not for anybody else, for yourself. Okay, so like I said, my experience with Zumba, I want to give you some words of encouragement that helped me to get past that, because yes, I had all these ideas to do like an online Zumba teaching type of thing, but it just didn't happen, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. And I know that I had a lot of friends waiting and expecting, so guys, sorry. I love you. I still do. I can always do a my routine for Zumba. I can always do that for you later, you know? And a lot of you actually came down to visit me and actually experienced one of my classes, which was amazing. And I do appreciate that, and I love you for that. And so here's my words. You cannot do something in such a way where you know you are going to change the scope of others' lives. You nor your decision will change anyone's opinion. People are going to do what they are going to do, regardless of what you do. They will stick to what is normal or safe for them. You cannot change that, nor can they change you with their opinions. We may let them. What you can do is change your version of what you're doing. You can also not listen to what others are saying about your decisions. You can choose to do that. And you could also remember that people only do what they know to be true. If you are not inspiring, if they are not inspiring you or others, then they are burdened by a regret of their own, a chance they possibly didn't take in their life, a belief that someone told them as a child. They possibly have not achieved that yet. They haven't gone through that developmental state of growth yet. There is still time for them. But it's not up to you to change that or to even listen to that. So you cannot say you didn't try. We have to keep going so we can say we did do it. Not so we can say thank you for your help to the other person or people, or blaming another for our decisions to give in or listen to others who say you didn't try hard enough. You are doing an amazing job. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. As simple as that. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. Think outside the box. Read. Do self-development. Get off the phone. Cuddle with someone close. Get back to basics and never stop. Even if you don't work as hard as the person that you are inspired by, at least you're still working. And you cannot say that you didn't. You try your best and you keep going, even if it is one step at a time. So I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason, right? I am a Christian, and so I believe that God and Jesus, they have a plan for me. And I pray about it, and I trust in it. I have faith in it. And whatever you is your religion, whatever you believe in, it's the same thing. You just try your hardest. We're all human. We all make mistakes, but it's not for remorse. It's like school, right? You or riding a bike. You fall off the bike, you get back up again, you try again. It's just like that. That is life, people. It's not like a family member or something says, see, I told you so. You would not be able to do that. I knew it. I was betting on it that you wouldn't get that done. So, good. You earned a little bit of money on the side. Great. Awesome, right? I was not getting classes in this area. And even when I did, I was told I couldn't charge because of the facility. That was the one thing. I asked the leader, for example, for my Zumba, I asked the coordinator for the building if I would be able to charge, and she said no. So I quit. I was like, okay, I'm worth more than this. I value myself. So with all due respect, I will have to resign from teaching this course. So that's what I did. That was my first ever class. And some of you who are watching this were part of that class. And understand that you guys were supporting me. And I love you. I will never forget you. I see you in the community these days. And it's like we never left, which is amazing. I love that feeling. Is that we never separated, which is wonderful. So that was my first experience. My second experience was a yoga studio. Like, I had this amazing community of yoga-rich students and a business owner who was a vet, and she was amazing. I love you. I know you're watching. And, you know, it just the area didn't work out. Schedules didn't work out. It was an experience. We both experienced. We both grew together in that experience. I learned my boundaries as to how far I was willing to travel for classes. I learned that as much advertising as we did together, that just schedules, they conflict, and that's okay. Business is not to be taken personal. Also, feelings are not to be taken personal. Right? It's all a learning experience. We can't get mad at kids if they don't know what they're doing. And I take that philosophy into everything I do. As a behavioral therapist, you teach the kids how to share. You teach them as parents how to act with others and how to value yourself. And that's exactly what we're doing when we go into business. It's not to take it personal. It is a growth. It is a learning experience. And so with our life, that's how we can look at something and really be curious and ask ourselves. Now, you can ask others, but you are going to get more personal growth if you ask yourself and be more curious with yourself. How did I go about that? Was that something that I could have done better? Or is that all that I tried I could do? Is that all that I could do at that moment from what I knew about that particular situation? After about 3 or 4 months at the yoga studio, I resigned from there too. And then I got hired on post as a Zumba instructor. And it would have been a great opportunity. However, Zumba as a Zen member, and I'm not bashing Zumba, I'm just saying that for our particular situation, if I had like a full-time job or something, $40 a month would have been fine. Would it though? Weighing out those costs and wages, I don't think it still wouldn't have been. Anyway, I'm deterring. So I think about it and I'm like, okay, so $40 every month for not making virtually any money with Zumba, it's still okay. See, that is where I come in, is that yes, it was an experience for my husband and I to, follow my dream, being a Zumba instructor. However, the $40 a month was not cost effective for this area because, like I was saying, there were situations where I could not charge or schedules conflicted, and so there wasn't enough students. Okay, and Zumba is not like it used to be. These days, in this area, I'm more in a bigger rural city. So there are a diverse amount of people where I am, but there's not this huge mass demand for parties and clubs and Hispanic music, right? There's more of a country scene. I got hired at the gym on post, and they told me that I would be making like $2.88 per client. And I would have to bring my following. So I would have to continue to do more work and like make sure everybody was on the same schedule. And it was going to be a lot more of the same thing that I was doing without results. So I decided to cancel my Zen membership. Yes, that's okay. And so now I cannot legally teach Zumba, which is fine. I'm fine with that. There is such thing as dance cardio fitness. Maybe I'll dabble into that. Is there any type of experience that you've experienced that you're still thinking, gosh, I wish that I could have still kept it going? Or what if I kept it going? Or, just thoughts in that realm. Because what I want you to be aware of is you are being curious. It's just we're getting stuck. We're not answering those what ifs to ourselves. Does that make sense? Yes, there are some of you who are saying, gosh, I wish I could continue to do this and this and this, X and X, right? And you're getting stuck there. Okay, so here are some questions for you. What would have been the benefit of continuing it? One question. 2, what would have been not so much of a benefit if you had continued to do it? 3, who would have benefited from you continuing to do it? And 3, did you try your hardest? Because if you did, that is what matters. It's not the amount of time that you did it for. It's if your heart and soul was in it, that is what matters. So another example I have is my website. I had a website, I believe it was in June. I had my graphic designer help me out. Thank you so much. I know you're watching too. And we did a great job. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. It was fun to just have that .com there for the world to see, right? As you know, with business, everything is statistics and analysis and measurements and data and everything, and I wasn't getting any clicks. And every month I would go in there, I'd revise it, I'd make sure that there weren't any typos, which of course there were typos, so I had to go back and change it. And I just spread the word. I put it on my memes, I put it on my quotes, I put it on my brochures, I put it business cards, like everywhere. I had put it everywhere. I even sent it on groups like on Facebook, and like I would put my .com there and everything. I was so proud, and as I should be, right? We worked hard on it, and I had my website. I was happy. I spread the word. I gave it to family, friends. Awesome. So yeah, I just deleted my website like 3 days ago because it wasn't, it didn't have any clicks. Nobody was coming to it. I had a landing page and everything, no subscribers, and that is okay. It is not realistic to think that a business is going to go boom and explode in less than a year, right? So these are all learning experiences. And quite frankly, I'm enjoying this process. I am being curious about what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And I like it. I actually do. It goes deep into vulnerability. And a lot of us have resilience to being vulnerable. And I'm exploring that a little bit more in my life. And that's what we should be doing. Like I said, get back to basics. Be curious about what you're doing, what you did, what you want to do. And make sure you put your whole heart into it. Try your best. It doesn't matter what other people say. It really doesn't. So long as you know in your heart of hearts and your mind and soul that you did everything that you could, then you're on the right step. And acknowledge that. Important. Acknowledge that you did it. You did what you set your heart to do, and you put your heart and your face out there for the community to see, or what have you. You did it. So put down in the comments below what you did and how you feel now, and if this video helped you. If not, that's okay too. You know. I am Yovi, and I really hope that this helped you, and that if you don't do anything, then just feel. Be curious how you feel.
Here's a little update on 2023 as to what happened afterwards in regarding my Zumba and certification and all of that. Because as you know, I am still certified. So here we go. Here's the story. Made that baby coach decision and mistake, and I learned from it, and I took all of the benefits and I learned from those disadvantages. I figured as I grew, and you will too when you make these decisions and mistakes, we grow, we learn, and we're able to make more mature and clearer decisions and choices. So what I learned was, being an entrepreneur, there are so many different avenues to take and to make a living for myself and my family. So what I did was I ended up signing back up with Zumba right during the pandemic, because what happened? They listened to me. At least I threw out those vibes into the universe, and I wanted to teach online. And because of the pandemic, Zumba Corporation actually did incorporate and partner up with Zoom, and then they became eligible for all of their licensed instructors to host live classes online and or pre-recorded classes to be paid out and all of that. So I was like, heck yes, I'm going to rejoin my membership. And thankfully, I was still in my window to do so. And I am now a Zen member for like 4 years now. 3 years, not counting that break. But it's been great, because then it's almost like it's a security that, yes, I'm paying a little bit extra a month to have this membership, but it's also a security. Like, I can go anywhere and say, I'm a Zumba instructor. Do you need Zumba instructors? I can go to gyms. I can host my own classes. I can go online and do my own classes and all of that. So in my show notes, you're actually going to have a little sneak peek of one of my classes, so you can check it out and enjoy that. Do some workouts, get some cardio in, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey, because I also went with my church and I hosted a group that was called Move with an exclamation point. And in this group, I actually collaborated Christian music with Zumba moves. And I was able to host a Zumba Christian workout, which was phenomenal. We worshiped in this group, and we got cardio in this group, and we sweat in this group, and we also learned a lot about coaching and how it can help moms struggling with anxiety and spirituality. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience. So do not get down on yourself. If you make a mistake and you decide, I'm going to quit, and then later on you decide, well, it's too late now. I already quit. No, it's never too late. And you can always grow from that. Learn, ask yourself, be curious. Why did I quit? What was in my way? Who was not supporting me? Or who could I have been if I chose to stay with it when I wasn't in the right mindset at that time? Or ask yourself, did I make this decision because I thought I could be something that someone else wouldn't approve of? Would I have grown out of someone? All of these are very important questions to ask yourself when you're making a decision and or a mistake. So I hope that made sense. I thank you so much for meeting with me today, this week. I'm a little late in my podcast and I'm so sorry, but I needed this to be a thought process and really get down to the intention of how this would come across to you. So I thank you for your patience and enjoy. If you have any questions, please find me on Instagram at Giovanna Chase Coaches or Facebook. Yeah, we can have a dialogue. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will talk to you next one. Bye. So, the key things that you want to take away from this is that any decision that you make, go with it with in peace. Make your decision confidently, weigh out the pros and the cons, but once you make the decision, don't be that person that says and involves everyone else around you. Just sit with that decision for a while and then be curious about how you feel and about the decisions and how that may affect or may not affect your current state or the people around you. But when we make decisions and we start to say, oh my God, I made this decision and blah, 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 blah with other people, then that decision wasn't completely made. You're still thinking about that decision. So let the ego fall and comfort your ego. That's your conscious brain. Just comfort it, okay? And let it be okay to make that decision, to be in that decision. And then you'll notice what you learned. You'll notice what may have come about after you made that decision. You'll learn all of these things about yourself that if you just let yourself be with that decision, it will come up for you. But if you make the decision and then you're rationalizing it out loud with other people and then you're just blah 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 and just like you're not in a positive environment with it with yourself, then you haven't fully made it. I really hope that this makes sense. um if you feel like you would like to make a decision, but you would like to process it in a healthier way versus negative or dramatic or involving people that don't exactly grow with you after making that decision, then reach out to me. I have a manifestation VIP 2 hour session that I sit with my girls and we list out what your vision is, what you would like, and then sometimes it doesn't even come up. But all of these questions that I prompt you with, they are about holding your hand, getting yourself to manifest and believe that you can have the environment that you want, that you can have what you want in general. And it is possible. So a lot of this is mindset work. And so that is why I have this VIP session that is about 2 hours long, one day only. And that just depends on your schedule. So reach out to me, call me. In my show notes, there is a link to just right away sign up for it. So enjoy that and sign up for it because it's there for you. And it really is beneficial with all of my people that I've done this with. They have had much success in their new jobs. They have had their dream job. They have had the household and lifestyle that they have wanted and that they only dreamed about and talked about, and just at the very core they are living their truth after this VIP. So I'm very excited to share with the world what this could do for you, and I'll be holding your hand, keeping you accountable. And then I'll make you a copy. That way you have it and you can look at it every single day. And then you can just say it over and over and over to yourself in a very clear and precise way. That way, nothing is out, everything is in that you want, and it is possible. So, thank you so much for listening today. And I hope you enjoyed the past Yovi from 2020 in January. And I hope that this helped somebody today. Thank you so much for listening.